Transition team.
Think your holiday shopping is finished? Well, not if you haven't.
It's going to be a cold Christmas this year as frozen Minnesotans brace for bone-chilling winds and below-zero temperatures. Good evening. I'm Scott Reynolds in tonight for Don Shelby.
And I'm Colleen Needles. We're going to find out just how cold it will get in just a moment. But first, the latest on a thin ice accident. It happened on Green Lake near Chisago City, northeast of the Twin Cities. A boy is hospitalized after being pulled from the lake by rescue divers after nearly an hour spent underwater. Denise Saunders explains what happened.
As we were going out there, the truck just dropped like an elevator. I mean, it wasn't not a slow, nothing. I mean, it just went through like I drove right into open water.
Barry Shoup is at home this evening, still shocked over what happened this morning. Shoup is the one who actually called for help. He told police he had been driving his 1981 Ford Bronco on Green Lake off Kismet Isle around 8:30 this morning. He was on his way to do some ice fishing when his truck fell through the ice. He escaped. His son was following on a snowmobile and took him to call 911. Shoup told police he had a passenger, a young boy, Billy Connors. He was still underwater.
We had a vehicle went through the ice out here. One of the occupants was trapped in the vehicle. It was a 10-year-old boy, and a recovery was made after the boy had been down for approximately an hour.
Lieutenant Caskey says every year the same thing happens. People think the ice is safe to drive on, but find out too late it's not.
Well, I think what happens is they see somebody else out there, and so they presume that it's safe, and then other people just follow suit. And the more people you see out there, the safer you feel.
Shoup probably thought he too was safe, but now he has to live with his decision. In Chisago City, Denise Saunders, WCCO Television News.
Connors was taken to St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center. At last check, doctors said he was listed in critical condition.
And the question now is, how can anyone possibly survive 55 minutes underwater? Dr. Michael Breen is standing by at St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center with an answer to that question.
Scott, first I should say that officials here at St. Paul Ramsey just told us that Billy Connors' prognosis is extremely grave. They say chances for a full recovery are very slim. And even if he doesn't recover, though, he would not be the longest survivor having spent time underwater. That record belongs to a 2-year-old boy who almost drowned in Utah. He spent 66 minutes underwater. Our experts say it's incredible what the human body can achieve.
This was Alvaro Garza in 1987. The 11-year-old had spent 45 minutes underwater. When he was rescued, he had no pulse and no blood pressure. But this is Garza today. He's doing well in school, and he has no obvious brain damage despite what he's been through. Now, why did he survive? Mostly because freezing water almost instantly shuts down the brain.
The brains cool quickly. There's many reports of 55 and more minutes underwater, particularly in children, surviving.
The brain survives because it needs less oxygen. In addition, the body goes into a state much like suspended animation. The heart beats just 2 or 3 times a minute. Shutting itself down is the only chance the body has for survival.
Now, you may wonder why children are more likely to survive. There are many theories about that. One is that children are, in general, in better health. Scott, they have better hearts, they have better lungs, they can withstand the stress of being underwater. Another is that what's called the diving reflex, an evolutionary mechanism that allows the body to go into suspended animation when it's underwater. But it appears that as adults we outgrow that, and it works better in children than it does in adults.
And Dr. Breen, what can be done medically right now for Billy at this time?
Well, so far, St. Paul Ramsey just told us that Billy came in with a body temperature of 83 as opposed to 98.6. He was attached to a heart-lung machine. His blood was warmed up, body warmed up to about 93 degrees, and his heart was restarted. And at this point, I'm told that he's still on a respirator, but he's taken off the bypass pump. So if he does pull through, medical technology will have played a large role.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Michael Breen from St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center. And before we end this story, a reminder about the recommended thickness of ice for each activity from the Department of Natural Resources. 2 inches or less, stay off. 4 inches minimum for one person walking. 5 inches for a snowmobile, 8 to 12 inches for a car, and 12 to 15 inches for a truck. But remember, ice is never safe. There can be thin spots from springs or even fish schooling under the ice. So be extremely careful right now. And I just talked yesterday with the Hennepin County Water Patrol, and they said that there was a 4-acre area of open water on Lake Minnetonka that they just discovered, and they've marked that off. So you never really know, and especially at night, you have to be careful.
You can't mess around. And you can't mess around in the kind of temperatures we're having today and we're going to be having throughout the week. Let's go now to Mike Fairborn, who's standing by in our Travel Line Center. Mike, how cold is it going to get?
Well, it's going to be awfully cold tonight. I guess the main thing is no matter where you're traveling, even around the Twin Cities, if you have a flat tire or some car trouble and have to change a tire without gloves or without a coat on, you're in trouble out there. So that's good advice for anybody out traveling around, whether you're outside of the Twin Cities or not. We did open up our travel line today. It's going to be open till 11 o'clock tonight, and then from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow, off on Christmas Day, and then back on Saturday. And we're going to be open most of next week, too, for people that do have travel plans. The nice thing, there's no major winter storms heading in our direction. It's just going to be awfully, awfully cold. But if you do have a question, want to know what the weather's going to be like, where you might be traveling to, or just to double check and make sure that we haven't slipped up in the forecast, 330-9020 is the number to call. Well, let me leave you with the forecast. For us today, we had that brittle sunshine. Boy, it was cold out there. A low of 1 above, which is our current reading. The 17-degree reading was at midnight last night. Yeah, that's right. Right now, we're clear and 1 above tonight. Clear and cold. We're going to drop down to 12 degrees below zero. But with the wind staying up there, we're going to have wind chills in the 25 to 35 below range. So it's going to be very, very, very cold. Bundle up. We'll see you in a few minutes.
All right. Thanks very much, Mike. In other local news today, an elderly woman died in a fire in her home on St. Paul's East Side. Fire crews arrived at 598 East Magnolia this afternoon. They were able to get the woman from her home, but they were not able to revive her. No word yet on how that fire started, but fire officials say it began in the basement.
Now we're going to move to the top international story, the first American casualties. Alan Cox is monitoring world media reports on the incident.
Colleen, it's the first casualties in 2 weeks of the mission to Somalia. For now, the government isn't saying what mission today the people in the vehicle that was hit were on, but they were moving near Bardera, a town in the interior of Somalia hard hit by famine. A CNN crew arrived at the scene shortly after emergency workers. The workers brought out 3 injured security officers for the State Department. One was listed in critical condition, the other 2 in serious condition. The blast threw the vehicle onto its roof. And finally, rescuers brought out the remains of a civilian employee of the U.S. Army. He has not been identified publicly. The mine may have been there some time.
They were traveling over a road they'd traveled over before, coming in, and people thought it had been clear of mines, but no one knows for sure where they all are. So this is going to be a big problem here that we haven't had in other regions.
1,000 Marines are due in the city in a few hours. Now they will take a different route and fall in behind minesweepers. Why risk it at all? Well, in the past hour, CNN's Christiane Amanpour filed this report.
Bardera needs help, and it needs it soon. There are about 38,000 people in this area. About 70 people a day are dying of starvation and disease. Everyone here has malaria, typhoid, tuberculosis, and measles are rife. Bardera is one of the hardest hit famine areas and one of the last to be relieved and secured by the Marines.
Finally, it will be a low-key Christmas among American troops who want to observe the holiday out of respect for the Islamic faith of Somalia. But Marines in Mogadishu have put up a few makeshift trees, and the weather forecasters tell them a cool spell is in store on Christmas Day. The temperature will actually stay below 90. And Colleen, that's the latest.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Topping national news today, a Detroit judge ruled that 3 white police officers will stand trial on felony charges resulting from the November 5th fatal beating of black motorist Melise Green. The 4th officer involved will face only misdemeanor charges. Meanwhile, Detroit media reports say today the city has agreed to pay Green's family $5 million in the settlement of a wrongful death lawsuit.
A local sign of hope and the Christmas spirit, the cold weather this afternoon couldn't dampen the spirit of giving at the Disciples Ministry Mission on Oliver Avenue in Minneapolis. More than 5,000 needy Twin Cities residents received bags of groceries and warm clothing donated by local businesses. Organizers of the giveaway hope the food and clothes will provide those in need with a happier holiday season.
We're going to have more stories of the season just ahead on the 5 o'clock news. Later, help for those desperately seeking Barney or other hot toys that have been out of stock. Then next in community news, a holiday tradition for two women that's lasted longer than most of us have been alive.
This is the 5 o'clock news on Channel 4 with Don Shelby, Colleen Needles, Mike Fairborn, and the rest of the WCCO news team.
Laughing, sharing, showing that you care brings a smile. Growing, living, and all that you're giving shines bright in the eyes of a child. And all through the world, there's a reason to sing. Will you reach for the sky? Are you ready to fly? Let the season take wing.
Christmas legend has it that there is only one fruitcake. It's said to have circled the globe many times. As an alternative, may we suggest something from Perkins Bakery, like our cinnamon roll Christmas tree, a fresh-baked holiday pie, or a basket or tin brimming with goodies. They're a delicious legend in their own right, but perhaps not quite so enduring.
Comfort can be found in many things. The warmth of a favorite chair, the security of home, a radio station you can depend on. WCCO AM 830. Rain, snow, or shine, day and night, WCCO AM has the latest news, weather, sports, and community information. When you need to know, morning or anytime, it's a comfort to know we're there. WCCO AM 830.
Carl Dupree was a deaf student here, and it was here that he died after a struggle with security guards. Watch Inside Edition.
Wednesday night at 10:35 on Channel 4.
Here's a look now at some of the stories making news in neighborhoods all throughout the Twin Cities.
We'll find out why authorities closed the walkway over the Coon Rapids Dam.
How a longtime uptown business surprised customers by shutting its doors just days before Christmas.
And what's so special about the holiday card received by this Anoka woman?
Amy Marcellus joins us now with today's report.
That Christmas card story is really one to watch for here. Well, Hennepin Parks officials have shut down the walkway over the Coon Rapids Dam on the Mississippi River. The decision came after an inspection by the Department of Natural Resources. Among the problems cited were loose railings and anchors, as well as the condition of concrete and steel supports for the walkway panels. According to the Brooklyn Parks Sun-Post, Hennepin Parks will now assess the structure of the walkway. No word when or if the dam walkway will reopen. The Socks for Salvation drive has hit a snag. The drop-off site for the Salvation Army sock drive in the Twin Cities closed suddenly over the weekend. Schlamp's clothing store had volunteered to be the collection point for the sock project for local homeless people.
Because of the confusion in the first day and a half of the campaign, we are certain that there were many people that were just so frustrated. They went down there, they found that there was not a Schlamp's any longer, and they left.
But the problem has been solved now that a bin has been placed in front of the store in Calhoun Square. Because of the confusion, what was supposed to be a 4-day drive has been extended until the 1st of next week. The Schlamp family sold its clothing store business to a former employee about 3 months ago. The new owner couldn't be reached for comment. Now a story from the East Metro. A district court judge has appointed a commission to consider whether Woodbury should adopt a charter. 9 people will sit on that commission, 3 recommended by the City Council, 4 nominated by charter proponents, and 2 residents who volunteered for the board. And finally today, a story about 2 women who've been exchanging Christmas cards longer than most of us have been alive. One of the writers lives in Anoka. Mildred Hamblin is 85 years old. The card she watches for each year is from her former teacher, Agnes Rudberg, who now lives in Waterloo, Nebraska. The 2 first met back in 1918 when Mildred was a 5th grader in Northfield.
Every year I've been thinking, well, I suppose I won't hear from her this year. But they come, and at first the calendar came. And I thought, oh dear, I wonder if I'll get a letter from her. A few days later, the card came. so happy all is going well with you as it is with me.
Isn't that wonderful? Mildred isn't quite sure how old her former teacher is, but says she must be over 100 years old. Mildred says her 5th grade experience in Miss Rudberg's class was the only time she was ever the teacher's pet. We should all be so lucky.
Well,
huh?
it shows to have been receiving calendars and cards for 50 years.
And you said she first contacted you about
She did.
this.
She wrote, and she says, I wonder if you think this is interesting. So that's fascinating.
Very
It's
newsworthy.
wonderful.
It's a nice, pleasant story, huh?
What was the price of a stamp when they started doing that?
Oh, I can't imagine.
A couple of cents?
Probably.
All right. Well, we'll be back with a cold forecast and hot toys in just a moment.
Thursday morning at 8 on Channel 4.
Boy, it's cold enough to freeze an egg on the sidewalk. Photojournalist Mike Cashman demonstrated for us. Okay, so it's not quite as dramatic as the summer version and not nearly as edible. Just a bad yolk, actually.
Kind of depressing, actually.
Frozen egg on the sidewalk.
We were scrambling
What do you do
for
with
a
a
story.
frozen egg?
I'm sure it's still there. I don't know. Did you have any last-minute shopping to do today?
Oh,
No.
still to do.
All right. Well, what we did is we lined up the Skyview 4 camera that's out on overlooking the western suburbs on the parking lot out at Ridgedale, and this is what it's like out there right now. You can see a lot of activity. I think there's also some last-minute shoppers out there. And by the way, if you happen to be a part of that crowd or plan to be part of that crowd later on tonight, right now the wind chill is 26 degrees below zero. And it's still dropping, and it's going to continue to be awfully cold through the night tonight, the way things are looking right now. These are the actual temperatures in the teens below zero already up to the north. Our temperature
You just set it outside for about 5 seconds.
That's just
ready to
right.
drink. And despite the cold weather, the last Holidazzle parade of the season will wind down Nicollet Mall at 6:30 tonight. This is what it looked like last week. You can bet the parade participants will move a little quicker tonight, especially the snowflakes.
And we have one more holiday house to look at tonight. This one is in Bloomington at 2305 West 108th Street.
Be merry.
Consumer reporter Sylvia Gambardella is here now to tell us where you might be able to buy some of those toys and which ones you might have to give up on.
Yeah, and I feel like I won the lottery because we finally found probably 2 of the more popular toys here. If we can take a look at this, the Barney doll, which of course you've probably heard so much about from the cartoon or the show, and also Thomas the Train. Now they're here, folks, and I'm sure we've got a long list of people. In fact, this one goes to our producer. If you're looking for Barney or Thomas the Train or My Size Barbie, good luck. Chances are you'll have a tough time trying to buy them and some other hot toys on your child's wish list this year.
Trying to find a Barney doll isn't easy. Many stores have sold out. But KB's in the Mall of America just got in a new supply yesterday, which Christine Gorman's little boy will be happy to see.
What's the attraction to Barney?
I think he's big and he's purple, and my son loves to sing, and he sings, and he just thinks that's a riot.
We had a tougher time finding Thomas the Train, but the toy boat store in Calhoun Square had a shelf full of them.
We hit pay dirt, we found Thomas the Train. How come you've got it?
Probably because I screamed loud and other people did. I ran an ad back in November for these sets here, and they never shipped me any, and I've been on the phone with them just about every day for about a month.
Barbie dolls are always popular, but this year there's a new twist to the old standby, the Totally Hair Barbie. We found several at some Targets, Toys R Us, and KB stores.
Why do you like the Totally Hair Barbie?
Well, you can do her hair, and you can style it however you want.
By far, the most difficult toy to find is the My Size Barbie. We couldn't locate it anywhere, and neither could Nina Graves. You haven't seen the doll at all. You don't know what it looks like, but you're searching for it.
Right.
Good luck.
Crazy, aren't I?
Well, Nina's daughter, if you are watching, your mom is trying very hard to get you My Size Barbie, so please be patient. The bottom line we found to tracking down the hot toys is calling the store first. You might just catch a store at the right time when a new supply of the sold-out toy comes into stock. Otherwise, some places you can put your name on a list and hope that they do get that toy in before Christmas.
Not a lot of time left
No,
here,
not
though.
really.
We're
It's
talking
tough.
one day.
It's
and
tough.
It's also hard this time of year to get folks on the phone, or at least who are able to run and look at the
We
site.
spent the whole day, and a lot of the phones were busy, so you got to be persistent. It's tough. Absolutely.
Good idea is to have your child make out an alternate list.
If possible, yeah. Or you can give them an alternate, actually, if you're stuck.
Well, you have to. Okay, thanks, Sylvia.
They just won't settle for rain checks, will they? Not under the tree, anyway. And if you want to see people shopping till they drop tonight, CBS News 48 Hours program will include a Mall of America segment this evening in its program, 48 Hours to Christmas. That's here on Channel 4 tonight at 9 o'clock.
No,
Finally tonight, wishes came true for hundreds of Head Start children and their families today. Red bags containing holiday gifts were handed out during the 4th Annual International Holiday Open House at Head Start Centers in Minneapolis. Those presents were donated by the Corporate Wish Tree Project, made up of 27 local companies. It's the 4th year of this giveaway. Over 6,000 presents handed out.
And we'll see you again at 6.